Whew. Yeah, you can buy. Take that down. All right. Shalom, shalom.
All right, let's see what we got. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. What it do?
What it do?
Oh, man. Hope everybody is warm.
Warm.
With water to drink.
Woo.
Man. To know what we're using.
All right. Did y'all hear Brother David? Was he coming in clear?
Copy. How do you read me? How do you read me? 1, 2, 3. Test, test. HOQ in the house.
Shalom, shalom, brothers. Shabbat shalom.
Shalom. Yes, sir.
Sorry for the tardiness, man.
All right.
We already rolling?
I think so. Yes, sir. We're trying to do some sound checks.
Cool. You already ate dinner, y'all? Well, I already know one person haven't eaten yet.
Yeah. I did, man. I told my
Nothing wrong with that.
How about yourself?
Oh, not yet.
Woo.
Not yet, man.
Yeah, that probably won't be my norm because it seems like it pushed it a little bit early for me. So I'll probably just have to, do my normal 5 minutes, get it in. Yeah.
Shabbat shalom, Brother Chris.
Shabbat shalom. Man, today's been quite a day.
Man, you know you a hard guy to get in contact with, bro.
I run on the low. The low.
Yeah.
Or my phone just broke. Either one.
I guess we can pick one.
It's up to you, though. It's up to you. Let me just tell you. It wasn't because I didn't have power, water, or was freezing.
Man, now that's what's up. You mean nobody around you died in a reclining chair?
No, brother. I know some of y'all heard about that cold and that cold snap and people dying in Texas from the carbon monoxide poisoning and people dying from freezing in their recliners.
In the bed, food dying in the bed.
In bed.
I'm not being one. Yeah, I hope, I don't mean this to be funny, but I really do hope that, these people had at least multiple layers of clothes on. Stuff that we can do, prior to waiting for the cavalry to come and rescue us. There's some simple stuff we could do, like put multiple layers of clothes on.
Right.
Get some blankets, no doubt. Bundle up. All kinds of stuff we can do. But
not light a fire in your living room.
I'm looking at your chest over there. You got on the Just Living shirt. We ain't even talk about this. Hell, boy, what you got on?
I got a green sweatshirt on. I feel like shit now.
Uh-oh, I didn't know.
Where's my Just Living shirt? Find it. Where can you buy? Where can y'all? Where can somebody who was interested buy this apparel from?
HOQapparel.com. HOQapparel.com.
HOQapparel.com.
Hey, that's my standard uniform on the homes. Well, everywhere. That's my standard apparel.
I got off my land today and I went to the feed store. Let me tell y'all something. The feed from this cold snap jumped from $8.99 for 50 pounds to $10.99. That's over a 20% jump for chicken feed.
Yeah. It ain't just the feed. It's the same with hay and all of that other stuff as well, bro. Yeah. We're having to order new bales or more bales. And it ain't just us, it's just, everybody, is my understanding, because it's real hard to come by and it's a mess.
Yes. Sister Rosie from UK, Shabbat Shalom, sister.
Hey, I put in an order, something super small, because I don't normally do the grocery ordering around here for some of those things, but I put in an order today, and when I got finished, it was only 17 items. 17 items was $150-something. 17 items. I saw stuff like bananas, blackberries. Man, I'm talking about light duty stuff, not nothing crazy. I'm like $150-something.
That's crazy.
Because that's inflation. That's inflation in work right there.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
I just read an article when my phone was working. California and Maryland approved giving their people independent stimulus checks.
What?
So they're getting stimulus checks from the state, and then the federal government. Or I think it was like in California, I think it was like $600 a person or something like that, or $300 a person. And Maryland's giving out money too. So now you got Maryland giving money, California giving money, and the federal government is going to be giving money.
Wow. Well,
We're not financial advisors, but we will tell you what we would do. I would not put that money in the bank.
Oh, no. I'd do a bank run to get it out.
I would turn that money with the quickness into some sort of commodity. I read another article. Food. I read an article at the shelves in Arkansas at some of the Walmarts were empty because people are still snowed in. I just went to the feed store and there was, unless you had a 4x4, people were not on the roads. So people were literally snowed into their house and hadn't been to the grocery store. And those that were at the grocery stores were buying everything up.
I heard some of the same things. I even heard that some truck drivers were stranded at truck stops, and truck stops wasn't gonna have gas for a week. They was running out of food. People, I guess, they even got videos that's going viral. I guess local residents making soup and stuff to give to the truck drivers.
Wow.
Because they're running out of food.
Count, I did see the article about people's electric bills going up to like $2,000 and $3,000. $1,000. Motel 6 was charging $400 a night during this cold snap. 400.
Motel 6? Man. Yep.
That's crazy. Brother Alex, shalom, Brother Alex. Shabbat shalom. He said, I know I got a Dodge Charger stuck in the parking lot. Was that the work Charger? Or the work car, Brother Alex? Oh, what? Count said, try $8,000. They said one electric bill was 17 G's.
Ooh-wee.
Some people are paying like $12 per kilowatt hour now. So,
what?
You know, that's like, oh yeah. In certain spots, it went up from 10 cents a kilowatt hour to, you know, over $12 a kilowatt hour, which, you know, that equivocates to over several $1,000 a day.
That's crazy. Brother Grim Survival said, I always kept a couple of weeks worth of food and water in my semi when I was on the road. So he was a truck driver. To see, that's smart. I was just talking to the sisters. I said, it's amazing today how many people don't even keep water in their vehicle. Or a simple toolkit. I mean, an extra serpentine belt. Or a hose. I mean, I keep some hoses for my radiator. I keep some hoses, you know, for like just some simple lines. Hose lines. I keep an electrical wire, a long one, just in case, you know, something burns out, you can splice it to get you to where you need to go. I mean, I keep some brake fluid. I keep some motor oil. Just simple stuff in their car. A first aid kit. Jumper cables.
Something totally different.
Right.
You talking about a different mindset, brother. Like, you just said something as simple as, you're right, I ain't gonna say most, I bet you a lot of people don't even have jumper cables. They car break down, and it's something that has to do with the battery, they running around begging somebody else for jumper cables. You should at least have the jumper cables if you want somebody to jump your car. You should at least have it.
Or there are some people that they'll have those battery charge packs and never check it to see if it's actually charged.
Yes, sir.
And then go and try to jump their car and find out that pack is on empty.
Yes, sir.
It seems like the standard protocol is to just wait for somebody else to do it. Wait for somebody else to solve the problems for you. You know,
yes, sir.
That's whether we're talking about the population at large, and sadly that trickles down to talking about the faith.
Oh.
Like the standard status quo methodology is just let somebody else be your daddy and prepare for you. We'll wait on somebody else to do it, even if that means in the meanwhile we freeze to death. Oh.
See, Brother David's hitting at something where we're leading it into the string, but the average person today, we have very much so a dependency on government mindset. or on somebody else. If our car breaks down, it's a damn shame when you see a flat tire and you see a dude who had to call AAA to change a tire. I'm like, did you just call AAA to change your tire? It's complete dependence on somebody else. We have to drive cars now that let us know when we need an oil change, because it's so hard to keep a little notepad in your car to write down the miles of your last oil change. And what I do, count 5,000 or 6,000 miles later, oil change day. Today, our car has to notify us when we have low air in our tires, because we're not used to walking around our car and checking the tires to make sure they have air in them. We don't know our car's low in air until we're driving and we hear it's like, oh, I must be low in air. We have become completely dependent, and slowly, more and more and more and more, we become even that much more dependent. And now, as Brother David said, it's here in the faith, where men are completely and utterly dependent on somebody else to live the faith for them, because we ourselves are completely unable and incapable of grabbing this book called the Bible and reading it and then living it.
Woo! He's stepping on some toes over there.
But look, I mean, for those of you in the chat, type in what things you see in today's system where they are leading people to complete dependency, from food to water to electricity. Y'all type some things out and we'll discuss them. Brother David on the beach, damn.
Hey, I figured I'd pull a Ted Cruz on everybody.
Yeah. You ain't Cancun, brother.
No worries, though. I was only just taking the family, and then I intended to fly right back.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Brother David, completely off topic. I read an article that somebody tried to wire their AC oxygen pump to their DC battery in their car because they were freezing and the power went out, and fried themselves.
What in the world?
They didn't have an inverter, a simple clip inverter, and they literally just stripped the wire. They cut the end off, stripped the wires, and tried to wrap it around their positive and negative in the battery, and now they're in the hospital.
That's what happens when you're not prepared. If desperation kicks in, and then you kind of, you're relegated to that first initial thought, and people are not able to think beyond that first initial thought because they're just seized with desperation. Hey, I'm cold. I'm cold, therefore I'm gonna stick a trash can in the living room and burn up some furniture and light the house on fire, or die, use a car, open the garage door and pull in the car, leave the doors open, and then run the car so that we can get some heat off of that. And then people die in their carbon monoxide poisoning because they're just not able to get beyond that first thought.
Right. I mean, they said that
what happens when we're not prepared.
Yep. In Texas, in Houston, Texas, there are 300 admissions to the hospital because of carbon monoxide poisoning. That means everybody was sitting in their car in their garage with their car running. This is what happens when we have men who are dependent and have not learned shit in their life.
Man.
One guy burnt his house down because he was trying to light a fire near his window opened up his window and lit a fire in a metal trash can, lit his house on fire, and was in the hospital, damn near death, because a fire truck couldn't get to the property because of the frozen roads, and all the fire hydrants had frozen. So he lost his whole house.
Man.
People were burning furniture in their homes. Floorboards. Their dinner table. Their books to keep warm. Because they thought one of those little bundles, those little bundles you get at Home Depot, they thought that was going to keep them warm. That little, that little $7 bundle with, 3 pieces of sticks. Go ahead, Brother Andre.
All of those women that like dating homeless dudes, what do you think the homeless dudes was doing when this storm approached them? I think it was popsicle sticks. I think when they went to sleep that night, they was like little popsicle sticks. So I don't know if the homeless option is your best option.
You might want to stay away from homeless men.
Your homeless guys won't cut it.
Gosh.
Man.
Sister.
Y'all seen them soup lines on the news?
Yep.
How they had it, them lines out there for water. People, you didn't want to haul a 5-gallon bucket or buy a storage tote for your house and rain catchment. You gonna haul 5 gallons of water for a big family? Those polygynous men that want big families, 5 gallons of water, you gonna haul it from some park back to your house? I don't think so.
Most of those men have a problem hauling 5 gallons of water from the back seat of their car to their house.
Man.
They told people boil water, but my bad, your electricity is off, so you can't use your oven. So there's no way to boil water, and of course, people were sick at the hospital for drinking contaminated water. Because you're dependent on a system. And let the three of us tell you, religion is a system. And if you depend on religion the same way these people depended on the system, you're going to be in the exact same position they are spiritually, because you were unable to be self-sufficient.
No doubt. No doubt.
So today, we are attacking another religious churchianity, Western Christianity foundation piece. And that is the idea that most of these so-called teachers have their, what'd you call it, Brother David? Their talking point? That's like exclusive to them and them alone. They do this, they teach this thing big time. But you said a word.
It'll come to me.
What was the word he used? Yeah. But basically, and this week I actually went online and I listened to some prominent mega church pastors, because now we have mega church pastors in the faith. But I listened to a sermon from T.D. Jakes, Joel Osteen, and Creflo Dollar. I bit my tongue and I made it through the whole sermon. And I come to find out that each one of them have their specific talking points that they hit on that where they say you're going to heaven because you do this.
Right.
Joel Osteen had the whole positivity thing and smile and all that mess. T.D. Jakes talked about loosening. You have to keep loosening and loosening and loosening and loosening. And then Creflo Dollar talked about, what was his?
Are you loosening your wallet or something?
Hell yeah, you know you are. Creflo Dollar talked about decreeing and revelation. You have to do all. You know what? Creflo Dollar's sermon was actually not that bad. If you take out the fact that 95% of it was bullshit, the 5% was good. That 5% was on point. He was talking about the power of your mouth. But he was saying that if you want long life, you need to decree it, and you need to loose the revelation of a long life. And I was like, what the hell does loose the revelation of a long life mean? What does that even mean, to loose the revelation of a long life? He said, decree it.
Just sounds good.
Right, that's exactly what it was. He said, you need to decree a long life. And I was like, man, every one of these so-called, and Benny Hinn, we all know Benny Hinn, his is healing and miracles. That's Benny Hinn's, where he hangs his hat on. So I decided, let's hit on this. Let's hit on this idea that continued dependency on religion. Let's go to Mark chapter 16, verse 17.
Man. I need to loose this revelation of staying warm.
Well, Elder Barak, honestly, the best deceiver is not the deceiver that does 5% truth, 95% lie. The best deceiver is the one that does 95% truth and 5% lie. Yep.
Absolutely. Because Satan is very subtle.
Yep.
And that last 5%, that last 2% of poison is enough to kill you.
Yep. Like if you...
rat poison...
Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
You look at that rat poison, the vast majority of it is good, wholesome ingredients.
Yep.
And then mixed with that 5% of poison, that's deadly.
For instance, if I say something like, keep the commandments of Yah, keep the feast days, and if you truly love Yah, you will lay it all at my feet. Didn't I just give you a whole lot of truth?
You did. Everything but that last statement was straight up.
But see, you won't even see that last statement as anything because you're going to get caught up in the first 95% and say, well, if he told the truth on that, he must be telling the truth about this, and I'm just too stupid to understand it. The Holy Spirit hasn't revealed it to me yet.
Yep. I like what he's saying over here, therefore I like him, therefore I'm going to be a respecter of persons, and I'll even listen to his counsel against my own soul.
Man. Respecter of persons. You know what that means? That means don't even be a respecter of persons against yourself. We like respecting, like I said before, we like characters. We like people that give us, okay, so let's just go to the book. I've heard this one. I heard some of the Christian preachers say this one. Mark 16, 17. And these signs shall follow them that believe. In my name, being Yahshua, they will cast out devils, and they shall speak with new tongues, and they shall take up serpents, and if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall receive signs. Right? Signs. Does anybody remember what Yahshua said about people who look after signs?
Don't do it. Ye have little faith.
Woo. Turn to Matthew chapter.
I got a question
Go ahead.
about that verse. How come we don't see now? This is interesting. The people we do hear stating, they shall lay hands on the sick and they shall recover. That's all they doing.
Woo!
So why didn't it jump on taking up them serpents? Why didn't it jump on drinking strychnine or some type of poison or something that's gonna damn near kill them?
Yep.
Because they don't want us to see their real fruit.
Yep.
You get what I mean? The stuff to make people feel good, you know, it's kind of like when we was in, Christianity or church. You only have to play the organ a certain way. I mean, I done seen guys play R. Kelly in church, and the people didn't even know what song it was, and they just threw R. Kelly music to, Christian lyrics, and it just made a move. You would have thought, people would have said, man, the Holy Ghost is here.
Yep.
The Lord is in the house.
Yep.
And they would have never even known that they were being bamboozled.
Yep.
Cousins came from the strip club playing R. Kelly, feeling on your booty in the chat.
Yep. Let's go to the book.
Sad.
Turn to Matthew chapter 12. And Brother Andre, you're right, because I went to a Seventh-day Adventist church where they played I Believe I Can Fly.
Oh, wow.
And there were niggas up in the church crying. Literally crying because the spirit of Yah was there. I'm like, nah, R. Kelly about to pee on somebody. What do you mean the spirit of Yah? That's called urine. What do you mean the spirit of Yah? Let's turn to Matthew chapter 12. Look at verse 38 and 39. Then certain of the scribes and the Pharisees answered, saying, Master, we would see a sign from thee. But he answered us and said unto them, an evil and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given to it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. What kind of generation seeks after a sign? Wicked and adulterous generation. They are the ones looking for signs. See, if I serve Yah, I don't need to be walking around saying, and again, I'm not speaking against healing or deliverance. I do it. But let me tell you something I don't do. I don't heal or cast out a devil and then come to YouTube to tell y'all that I just healed somebody and casted out a devil.
Right. Nobody, we're not saying only right here is where it's at. And I can tell you that this is where it's at only right here because I do this. I cast out devils. I do healing and deliverance and so forth and so on. Therefore, that's my seal that Yah is with me.
In fact, we will disprove that right now. Brother David just mentioned it. We will disprove that right now. Matthew chapter 7. We're going to start at verse 21. Matthew 7:21. Look at this. Look at this. You read it for yourself. Do one of y'all want to read it?
That's fiery. Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Brother Andre.
Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. But he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? I bet you we done heard that before. And in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works. And then I will say unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity.
Woo!
Man.
What does that mean? What does that show you? That shows you this. Miracles, healings, casting out devils doesn't make you of Yah. Because the power isn't in you. What does the book say? It says, many will say in that day, have we not prophesied in thy name? The power is not in the person. The power is in Yahshua. Yahshua, my salvation, we were going there. Pharaoh did miracles. There are witches and warlocks on this earth right now that do miracles, that do healings, that cast spells. It's not that the power is exclusive. You know that because it's the name of Yahshua, not the person, not the place. It's the name of Yahshua.
That's what's up.
That's where the healing takes place. So whenever you see, you give people the power by you saying, well, I can't do it, so I have to go somewhere else so he can do it.
Right.
Nope, you got the power.
You got it.
Men got the power to pray over their families, pray over your wives and children, pray over all wives, but you get it, pray over them. The power is in the name, not you. You ain't that damn special.
Nope.
I'm not that damn special.
Not at all.
And we always should give the acknowledgement to the one who is actually doing the healing, who is actually casting out the devil. I have never went to a devil and said, or a demon, and said, in the name of Chris, come out. I have never gone and laid hands and said, in the name of Chris, I command this fever to cease. That shit would have jumped out to 200 degrees. The power's not in it. We have the faith in actually doing what has. It doesn't mean, because I've seen literally Sunday pastors heal people. Because remember, it's the name of Yahshua that does the healing. Anybody can use the name. It doesn't make you his. So if you ever see, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, brother.
Oh no, I just cleared my throat.
Oh. So whenever you see people, thank you, Benny Hinn, thank you, oh, thank you, and they're humping Benny Hinn, dry humping him, jumping all over him.
Oh man.
And they're looking at Benny Hinn as if he is something special. Do you not know that same thing that Benny Hinn's a liar though. Benny Hinn's a liar. But when you see somebody do something that you're like, oh my gosh, do you not think? Didn't Yahshua say, you're going to do greater things than me?
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
And you're over there dry humping your pastor. Because
people,
go ahead, brother. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Unless people believe that this is only something that takes place in Roman Catholicism or Christianity, Don't be deceived. You got folks doing the exact same thing in the so-called faith right now. You'll deny what the book says and lay down your own self, lay down your daughters, lay down your deed or whatever else it is, all of your money, all your assets to a man, because he tells you that that's what's required. And he tells you, if you want to roll with me, this is what you have to do, and you should want to roll with me because these are my signs.
Yep. Yep.
Man.
So you're following this guy because his signs are he laid hands on the sick, which is what you could do. He casted out devils, which is what you can do. So all the things that he is able to do, you could do. The only thing is you actually don't believe you can do it, which means you actually have no belief.
Yep, that's what it is.
You have no faith whatsoever. Because if you were the man of your house, you would be the first person up there saying, I'm doing this. If there's if my wife has an infirmity, I'll be the one praying over her. Nah, I'm going to take them to the elders of the church because I can't do it. Most of y'all niggas can't even move your hands to go to work. That's why you ain't got no faith to do any other work of Yah. You too busy doing something and turn around. Did I do a good job? Did I do a good job, sir? Did I do a good job? You want my wife to take off her underwear and throw it to you too, sir? And to be real, and this is without any alcohol, some of you men are one bad day away of being on your knees in front of your pastor or elder.
Oh, whoa, man. That's terrible.
I'm just being real. I'm just being real. You done handed everything else away.
100% accurate. You're 100% accurate.
And you probably...
It makes me think, brother. I don't know if y'all remember these times. Now, I done went through some of this ridiculous stuff and paid the price for it, of course. But I remember when people used to get... They didn't have enough confidence in themselves. It really didn't take confidence. They had to go to the pastor for something as simple as, I want a new car. I want a house. I'm going to get the pastor to pray for me, lay hands on me, and anoint me with oil, and all of a sudden I'm going to get a house. And I used to ask people, ain't that your damn credit? Ain't that your down payment that you already got? So what did he do? Same scenario now with our families, even with some of our daughters. I mean, you can't marry off your own daughter? What? You need some assistance? You need some help? I can't find that in the Bible where the man went and sought out some help to marry his own daughter. Comes from him. That's a problem.
That means you done a terrible ass job as a man.
Yes, sir.
And you gotta take your daughter somewhere else. Hey, you seem like you could marry my daughter off. And you know what? Just you go ahead and marry her yourself. Thank you, elder.
No, thank you.
Religion. See, what we're trying to do is we're trying to let you men know that you have the power.
Not only do you have the power, you have the responsibility.
Yes, sir.
It's actually...
I think that's what it's...
So I'm sorry, Brother David. Go ahead.
I apologize. I was going to say, and I think that's what causes a lot of people to then shy away from it, because it's much easier to then want to look to someone else and try to, give them your authority and hide under their covering, if you will, because you don't want that responsibility that you have. And we're talking about, principles of faith, and we're talking about principles of daily living. In the same manner in which you have people literally sitting in their houses, freezing to death, waiting on a daddy figure to come to the rescue, but you got trees outside or avenues and ways to make things happen available to you. People dying of dehydration, but it's snow on the ground all around you. But to go get the snow would take work and take you understanding that the answer is not coming from someone else, because it's not their responsibility. It's your responsibility, men, for your house. And it takes you walking in your faith and what you believe. And sadly, what we're seeing is, and the reality of it is, more often than people will care to admit, that's exactly what you're doing, walking out what you believe, which is nothing.
You place all your belief technically in your leadership.
That's it.
There are people who are worrying about their food going bad in their refrigerator because the electricity was off, but it never hit their mind it's negative 20 outside.
Right.
Take your meat and put it on your porch in an ice chest or a plastic tub.
Right.
And your food is going to be cold, frozen.
That's too primitive. But that's too primitive.
Right. Nobody taught me that.
Right, there it is.
Nobody taught me.
My pastor and my elder didn't call me and tell me to do that.
Sister Tracy said they don't teach men properly because their numbers will drop in this feminist world. Women, let me finish the rest of that. Women outnumber men in the church by far. By far. And women usually go after the men in the church that are high up. And in order for you to get high up enough in the church for the pastor to approve of you marrying a woman, you have to bow down to him.
Yep.
That's the only way for you to ascend high enough or to gain his trust so that he will give you the okay to take a wife. Huh? Is that how it worked? Let's go to Matthew chapter 24. Remember, we shouldn't be looking for signs. Verse 11. Oh, Sister Angela said these women are looking to marry the archbishop. That's right. And since they can't get the archbishop or the elders or the pastor, they'll settle for whoever the pastor says is okay. But in reality, she would rather be up on the pastor than you. And here you are trying to win her over, when in reality, to be honest, she don't want you. She don't want you. You're the fallback plan in case the elders and the pastors and the deacons don't want her. Matthew 24, verse 11. And many false prophets shall arise and shall deceive many. How will they deceive you? Look at verse 23 and 24, same chapter. Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is the Messiah, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false messiahs. That's not one. That's not false Christ. There shall be false Christs. There's an S at the end, meaning more than one. And false prophets. That's more than one. And shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect.
Man. That's a powerful and scary verse right there.
Shoot, David, bro, David. What do you see? What do you see in that verse, bro, David?
Well, I mean, I see. I'll just put it this way. As I said before, I'll just reiterate it again. It is my hope and desire that people will pick up this book and read it and believe it for themselves. Read it and believe it for themselves so that they will not be deceived by people telling them, hey, you know, you have to come here and you have to do what I say.
Uh-oh.
The entirety of this world, he's only right here. And these signs and these wonders, which I claim to do, prove this. May sound great on the surface, but the problem is it doesn't abide with the book. That is not the book.
It don't mean, you know, we have this misconception. A person is a man of Yah or whatever of Yah because he can do things. He can show signs. Look at his nice car. Or look at his wonderful possessions. And all these signs can simply be, if that's the case, then Creflo Dollar has to mean has to be a man of Yah. He has to be. They have to be men of Yah. There you are.
My apologies.
No, you good. Creflo Dollar would have to be a man of Yah because look at everything he got. If you want to base it simply on the fact that a person has a bunch of stuff. If we want to base it on, well, look at all the things that I've got. I know a hippie community from, we were just talking about that this week. I know a hippie community that makes millions of dollars a year selling flip-flops. Flip-flops and making peanut butter.
They ain't never once mentioned Yah.
Not one time. There it is. Shalom, Mother Kate. Sister Angela said the devil gives good gifts. And that's another misconception. We believe the devil only gives us bad gifts. No, he don't. He'll give you, in fact, very good gifts, because if the devil can give you a gift and you say, I'm blessed because of look at what I got.
Right.
No, well, Matt, get him. Go. It must be a gift from Yah because look at what I got.
Yah is not the only one that gives gifts. His gifts don't come with death attached to it, though. So that takes some discernment for folks to be able to wade through that.
Yep.
Most folks just stick with the only first thought, which is just, oh, I got the gift. You don't care who it's coming from or what the cost attached to it is.
That's like me walking around with like a Kim Kardashian as a wife. Like, look at this. Look, you see what I'm saying, brothers? Look at me. Look at me, brother. I got Beyonce on one arm and Kim Kardashian on the other. And y'all be looking at me like, nigga, you about to die.
Man, that's a curse.
Right. And I wouldn't even know it. I'd be like, look at that ass, though. You be like, but it's fake.
And then she's going to get beat up in the elevator. Just saying.
Or get left so that she can go be with Ray J and Reggie Bush and Kanye West.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah, it was. Yep. So again, look at Matthew 24, verse 23 and 24. 24 says, and there shall be false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders. That should let you know, if somebody runs around talking about, look at what I can do, you may want to look at that and say, huh, could that be a sign that you're trying to deceive me? The fact that you keep pumping out that you can keep doing this, because even when I read the words of Yahshua, I don't see him running around always talking about what he's done.
Nope.
I didn't see Yah ever go to his Facebook page and post up what he's done.
No. He was actually about the Father's business. He always talked, he always said he didn't come to speak of himself or speak about himself. He always talked about his Father.
Right. Always.
Now, I did hear Brother Frank mention this last week, and I try to be very careful about this, especially, and since he mentioned it, especially now. He mentioned about how, sometimes brothers, they gotta have a pat on the back for everything they do. That's just like they get that stuff from these pastors.
Right.
You gotta lift up your pastor when he burnt. That's crazy.
Yep. Anytime you do something, you gotta show somebody so they can say, good job. Like, hey guys, I went to the bathroom and wiped my own ass. Look at the toilet paper. Good job. That's a good job. You got none on your fingers? No. Yeah. Good job. Good job. Men did not operate like that.
No.
It seems like I remember reading that your hope for that good job is at the end.
Yep. Because what you don't know is that person may have gone to their land and cut down one tree way off in the distance, and the rest of their land is completely unkept. But they just wanted to show you that they could cut down a tree.
Right.
I'm gonna cut down a tree and I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show myself limbing the tree with limbs that are as thick as my finger, and I'm limbing it with a chainsaw.
My chainsaw fully revved up.
Look at me. This is what the culture has come to.
Right.
Everybody wants, because we all see, and Brother Andre said that, and he's right. We've learned that because of the church, where everything is I have to show what I'm doing. I don't have to show it. You'll know what I'm doing by how happy my family is, by when shit like what goes down in Texas happens, or if we get snowed in like we were. You ain't gonna see me like this. Shalom, brothers. But nigga, you cold? Nah, bro. I'm not. Got my lips frozen together. That's how you know.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Hey, that's how your family know. If they ain't shivering to death.
Woo, man.
That's the truth, brother. We as men should not be doing this for other people. Your family should see it.
Man.
Go ahead, Brother David.
Yeah, I'm sorry it's freezing in here, son. Just go to get in the bed and sleep it off. It'll be better in the morning.
Sleep it off.
Meanwhile, folks ain't waking up and stuff. You over there praying, grown men over there praying about some heat, praying for the electricity to turn back on so you can heat up your house. Your folks in the bed, not waking up. You over there on your knees praying.
Man.
When you have the ability to get up, you got health in your body and the ability to get up and do something about it and fix it. but you're waiting on somebody else. Anybody else to be one doing the doing. Anyone but you.
Anyone but you.
I use that as an example because it parallels. It's a wonderful analogy of exactly how folks do within this faith.
Absolutely.
Anyone else, no matter the cost. Oh, you want my deed? Okay. Because then you'll be responsible for what's going on in my life and not me. You want my daughter? Oh, okay. I guess I got to give you all that stuff because whatever the cost is, I got to pay it because I don't want the responsibility. And it's just, it's
insane.
It's amazing how many men, I mean, they need pats on the back. So, have you noticed how effeminized men are? Like,
Yes, sir.
for everything that they do, they need somebody to say, good job. Good job. Wow. You did good. Look, Brother David, Brother Andre, look. I built a countertop. Good job. Wonderful job. In fact, look, I went to Walmart and bought my family food. They're not starving anymore. Good job. Whatever happened to I love my family, I love my wife, wives, and children, so I'm doing this for them. I'm not doing this,
Right.
or if I'm doing healing in Yahshua's name, I did it for my family. I didn't do it to come on a YouTube and tell y'all what I just did. That's why I don't run around telling people I did this and I did that and I healed this and I cast this demon out. Why? Why am I doing that? Honestly, I want y'all to think about that, those of you who are listening. When a person tells you that, why are they telling you that? What is the motive of them giving you that information?
Yep. You gotta know what need they have of you.
Woo!
Yes, sir.
When
Hey,
you
and it
receive
could be
it,
also. Well, sorry, brother. What I was gonna say for men, it could be also if a brother is telling you he having to do all this casting out demons on his household, he got to do all this praying on his household. That might show negligence,
Right.
or derelict in duty.
Right.
yeah, because everything ain't a demon.
We've done studies on that one, and
Disorder.
we're going to bring that one out, brothers and sisters.
Yes, sir.
We're going to have a study on the idea everything ain't a demon. I looked at a woman and I saw that she had a nice butt. Oh my gosh, I have a demon of lust. No.
You just a man. You know this nice looking women.
Right.
It'll be all right.
You'll be cool. You'll live. You don't need to go get deliverance now. I had a bad day and I've had a bad thought about somebody. I must have a demon of hate. No, you may have just had a bad day. I mean, you did just rebuke the devil. He fled from you. So did you open up the door and let him in and let him all in your brain? Or did you say, that's a dumb thought? Did you need deliverance for that one? We got them, and they're coming. We just want y'all to understand this system of religion that is out there is gonna damn some of y'all to hell because you would rather believe religion, man-made doctrines, rah, and I need to see signs. We just read that the signs are going to be the thing that deceives even the very elect, if it were possible.
Man.
Some of y'all will only go, I only want to go to Benny Hinn because he can cast out devils. So he's casting out devils in a mass auditorium. Where do you think those devils go?
back into those folks.
Oh, okay.
Or into some new people that's open to it.
Look at me. I'm doing mass deliverance because we read that all over the Bible.
Yeah, you know, I actually haven't seen an example of that one yet.
Hold on, you mean Yahshua didn't have a billboard out there saying he was doing mass deliverance? He didn't have the disciples running around with little newspapers in their hand, passing them out to people?
Pamphlets?
On their donkeys and stuff?
Nah, he wasn't doing that. Because if you read the Bible says, when a devil is cast out of a man, it walketh amongst dry places, and it seeks to find rest and finds none. Meaning, and if you read the story of when Yahshua cast out the devil out of that madman in the wilderness, they asked, can we go to the pigs? They have to inhabit a person or a thing. Meaning, if you do mass deliverance in a big-ass auditorium with hundreds of people, those demons are just transferring to somebody else.
Yes, sir.
If it got cast out of a person, it's just going to go and jump into somebody else. That may have been why Yahshua didn't run around doing mass deliverance.
And I don't see any examples of it having to happen again and again and again either. Like it's just a 12-step program of deliverance or something.
Right.
I don't see any biblical support for that.
Grim Survival said, wait, they don't have cell phones recording videos of everything he did? Nah. He didn't have an entourage. I didn't see Peter in the background like this. Yahshua, hey, you want portrait or landscape? Portrait or landscape? I didn't see that. So
if you check out Yahshua, y'all remember he didn't even want unbelieving people to pray. He was finna heal. I remember it's a couple, for instance, he was finna heal like a child or heal someone. He was like, nah, y'all stay over here. Nah, you stay out there. I got this.
Right.
He didn't advertise like that. So if it ain't Yahshua, who is it then? Who is it now?
Right.
Who you know what I'm saying? If you're not doing exactly what the book says, you're not doing exactly what Yahshua is doing, well, who are you celebrating?
Yep.
Who are you lifting up? What kingdom are you preparing these people to go to?
West Holford said, so you saying he didn't have a hype man? No. And today we got men who are running around with hype men. They be blowing the trumpet, doing crip walks and blood stomps and handstands, and you got the guy juggling bowling pins as he walks down the street.
And I just say this, I just throw this out there too. So just so that it's stated. Because these people who are doing these things, these hat tricks and all this buffoonery, they gonna do what they gonna do. This message is not for them. We're not saying anything that we're saying right now to try to convince one elder, one pastor, one whatever other fill in the blank label they want to go by, pope or whatever. All this, it ain't for them. We're just telling y'all this stuff, and don't even take our word for it. I just say that too. Don't take my word for it. Read the book. We're saying and trying to encourage you to go back. It is worth your time to get your word and to study these things out for your own self and see if it be so. So that when you hear these people coming to you with these things that should be strange to your ears, trying to deceive you with these signs or these wonders, or these proclamations of wonders being had, then you could say, I better look into this. I better see if this thing be so.
Yes.
I better see if this lines up with the book so that you're not so easily deceived. Because as we stated, a lot of people are going to believe this foolishness, this wickedness, basically at the expense of their own soul. People are going to be deceived. And that's what religion is. It's a bunch of BS. It's a bunch of wickedness and keeping you diverted over here so that you're never operating in truth. You're never receiving the knowledge of the truth.
That's it.
And operating in it. You're just ever learning.
The truth should set you free.
Yes,
the
sir.
truth doesn't make you give up your shit.
Nope.
I've got the truth. I'm giving everything I got away. The truth sets free. You, your family, your children, your life, free. So if you're walking in everlasting bondage, and here's the problem, so many people today are such good slaves that you've been convinced that you are free, even though everybody else can still see the shackle around your neck, the shackle around your ankles, but because you've been a good house Negro, the master done gave you some kickbacks, you're willing to buck jive and do whatever the master say, because the master, if you do a good enough job, the master gonna give you some chitlins. He may give you
that wife that you have is gonna stay with you.
Right. He may tell her, suffer with him a little bit longer. Go ahead and suffer with him a little bit longer. Some of y'all only do good so that your pastor can say something like, we have a good brother over here, and that really makes your day. When your pastor calls your name, you feel like you just won the lotto.
Man.
He said my name. Some of y'all know you do it. You know you go back to the video and watch it on YouTube so you can see him say your name again. You memorize the timestamp when he said your name.
I'll say that excitement for Yahshua.
Right. And let me tell y'all, I'm only saying this because I used to be that person. So I'm telling you from personal experience that I used to be that person that knew the timestamp. You knew what video it was, you knew what expression he had on his face, and how he said it. But you didn't give a damn about Yah or Yahshua or what they thought about you. If your pastor accepts you, then Yah must accept you.
Yep.
And some of y'all are going to be really saddened to find out that Yah didn't accept you just because another man did. As Brother David said, we're not saying this for those people. I know already we got people who are from other groups, camps, ministries, churches, from Sunday churches to Saturday churches, who watch these channels and you try to nitpick every little thing. This ain't for you. I know some of you listen to this so that you can go and do your teaching tomorrow or your teaching on Thursday. Have at it. Have at it. So it's not for them. It's for those that are coming out of her, being that religious system. That's what this is for. When you fully are coming out of her and you say, man, I've been deceived. This is for that person. This is for the slave that has been looking around the plantation for too long and been like, I got to get the hell out of here. And you realize a large majority of the other slaves are happy. What did Neo say, or Morpheus say to Neo? Most people that are plugged in the Matrix want to be there. If you dare try to unplug them, they'll turn against you. Uh-oh.
I'm gonna see if the stream is still going.
Yeah, y'all are back.
Okay.
There y'all are, yeah.
Man, that's what it is. Yeah. All we're saying is the beauty of this book, and the truth is that you can love Yah through his son Yahshua, his only begotten son, Yahshua. Lay out your life and live for him and keep your stuff.
Yep.
My stuff meaning keep that which he gave to you, that which you through obedience to him earned by the sweat of your own brow.
Yep.
By the work of your own hands.
Yes, sir.
Shalom, my brother, Pastor Fox. 'Cause I know some of y'all out there, you and Pastor Fox said something that you disagree with. He's a white man and he hates black people. Let me say something to y'all. I have many disagreements with people. Just because a white man has a disagreement with a black man does not make the white man racist.
Nope, not at all.
Just want to say that.
Men need to grow up and understand how to walk in manhood, you know.
Yes, sir.
And I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Well, I'll keep it nice. I'll just put it this way. Sometimes we better just gird ourselves up, you know, tuck yourself in well, walk in the fullness of your manhood and understand that it's not based on your feelings and emotions. Just like you have the right to feel what you feel about any individual based on the information that you have and you think that you're right and you're coming from your perspective, guess what? That other individual has the same right.
Right.
Same.
And he's created the same thing from his perspective.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad you mentioned that because people will look at you and say, well, he has to agree with everything that you agree with. And I look at them and I'm like, nigga, you don't even agree with everything I agree with.
I don't even agree with everything I agree with.
Right. I could say all three of us right here, while we agree with many things, there are little differences that each one of us have. But because we're men, we can say, hey, I wouldn't do it that way, but I could see why you would. I could see why you think that. I see your perspective. I may not agree with your perspective. Right.
Yes, sir. And
right.
Still love one another. Hey, man, I know that ain't for you or whatever, but it's for me, and I appreciate the way you know what I mean? How we do it.
Yes,
hey,
sir.
man, I understand. And we kind of like this, though. We at the point where we were like, I'm just going to do it anyway. And we respect that and keep it moving.
Right.
I don't understand this. How come if a white person disagrees with you, all of a sudden they racist? Why?
They racist and they support the KKK and they're secretly an Aryan nation and they always pull that little caveat. I'm just good at reading people. I'm just
based on what? Who told you that?
Right.
You might need glasses.
That's a sign of weakness. If somebody always got to agree with you as a man, that's a sure sign of weakness. And really, you're not even prepared to be part of a brotherhood, to be honest with you.
Right.
Because you're going to be the weak link.
Right.
True.
Right. That means that in order for somebody and you to get along, they have to agree and see everything the way you do.
Nah.
Man.
Chuck, can you get out of here, please? Before you...
That sounds more like a sisterhood.
That's what I was just about to say. Yep. Except they even be rolling stronger than a lot of these dudes who be coming over here with this effeminate nonsense.
That crap isn't feminine.
We say it all the time. If you have to look at how your family, you look at some of these women, and when we look at the women in our house, daughters included, I'd rather roll with them. I'd rather roll with the wives and daughters than some of these dudes.
Yep.
Because they too sensitive. They too soft. And they ain't about doing any type of work. They're about talking. Now they good at talking about the scriptures all day, or talking about polygyny. When we talking about actually walking this thing out, walking the life out.
Right.
That's what I call. They're good. They're good Shabbat saints. Hey, they shine, boy. They shine bright on Shabbat.
Yep.
When it's time to sit on the porch on a rocking chair and sip on lemonade. But man, wait till first day.
Woo.
When it's time to grab them work boots.
Woo.
All that talk is gone. All that shine is gone.
Yep. So let me just reaffirm it. If you keep the commandments of Yah, believe in Yahshua HaMashiach, love him, I can call you my brother. And let me tell you something. If you look at the 12 tribes and you actually understood our history, they didn't even all get along.
Man, there it is.
They had differences and fights. I want that put out there. I do not expect everybody to agree with me. That's foolishness. That's stupid. Because you know what? It's not going to surprise me that when we all get to the kingdom, we're all going to find out we were all wrong in many things. And Yah's going to... Yep. And Yah's going to bring it all back. Gosh. This crap's amazing. This is what happens when religion and really offenses. If a white person didn't like me because I was black, that's his problem.
Right. That
ain't my problem. That's his problem.
Yes, sir.
I don't like niggers. That ain't my damn problem. If a black person don't like white people, that ain't my problem. I'm not trying to convince him to like them. Because you know what? I don't like a lot of people. Black, white, all sorts of colors. I like those that roll with Yah.
Yes, sir.
Period.
Well, the real ones.
The real ones. Period.
That's true.
So if that makes me any term you want to call us, any 4-letter word that starts with "ku" and ends with "mm."
Yeah.
Cool.
You can say what you like. I ain't kissing nobody's ass, white or black.
I ain't gonna lose no sleep over it either.
Nope.
Cause shit, I was doing me before I knew any of y'all.
Right.
I was serving y'all to the best of my ability before any other of these folks came into my purview.
Right.
Into my awareness. And not one thing that I have did it come from any of these other jokers. What I have, including the health of my body, it came from Yah through his son Yahshua. So
right.
If I placate to anybody, that's who it is. That's
right.
it. Book plus nothing. You ain't the author of the book.
Nope. And honestly, since you're not the author of the book, if you don't like what the book says, that's your problem.
Sure.
You didn't write it. I didn't write it. And I don't need your private interpretation. Let me tell y'all something. If you get a private interpretation from Yah, listen to the private. Keep that shit to yourself.
Yeah. Man, could you just repeat that again?
If you ever get a private interpretation from Yah, the key word is the first word. Private.
Private.
Keep that shit to yourself.
You mean you don't want people running you down talking about what God told him to tell you? Like you deaf? Dumb or something? You reading in braille
I love
or
both
something?
of y'all brothers. I love both of y'all brothers. Y'all I consider to be my beloved brothers and friends. But let me ask y'all a question. Have y'all come to either one of y'all and say, you know what? This is what I have for y'all. Y'all are to go and be on Brother David's place. And I ain't telling him, but I'm going to tell you so that you can, you know, your rib can get in touch with his rib and tell them what I have for y'all. Has that ever happened to y'all?
No.
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 It ain't never happened to me.
Not even close.
It ain't happening to me either. I just figured I'd throw that out there because, you know, I figured if y'all was going to say something to me, I stay on my knees before I figure out here. Oh, yeah. I figure out here from him.
About your land and your place, so y'all bypassed you and he went straight to the person that needed to be inducted. The inductee.
Yeah. Y'all told me. Y'all told us this is what's going to happen. I'm like, nah, that ain't y'all. Let me just break it to you straight. That ain't y'all. I just stay straight.
Right.
Straight. That ain't y'all
Yes,
you
sir.
hearing from. No, that ain't the book. That ain't y'all.
That's your
My
opinion.
bad. I digress.
Man.
No, that's real
You know,
talk.
we do stuff to the max.
Religion
I
done.
think if we'd have came, I was gonna say, I think if we'd have came to each other like that, we would have quickly been. That might have cost us our brotherhood.
Oh,
man.
The next time you called me, you would have heard, this number is no longer in service, or you've been blocked.
oh. Yeah. Y'all told me that we
can't
should have
make
passed
this stuff up.
Now you can't make it up. Yeah, I guess it happened to FY once when the dude showed up at your job. I guess that's pretty close.
That's crazy.
Talking about y'all told him.
That's crazy.
I don't think he ever made it to Iraq.
Nope. Nope. Sure didn't. But he met the police.
And we can laugh about that getting back on point because we ain't for this religious hocus pocus BS. We just believe the book and we keep it real.
Yes, sir.
We ain't about this, y'all told me, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, huh, that's funny because he ain't told me that.
Right.
And being that it's my land, I figured he would probably, you know, all things being done decent and in order, he'd probably start over here.
Nah, he told the leadership.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brother Ken, he showed up at my job, and I work nights, and he was there all night. And I was like, I need to do this right. Because if this dude tries to show up and I gotta defend my family, I want there to be a notation that I did notify the police that there is some crazy ass dude who's walking around with a picture of me around my job, asking people what floor I worked on.
You mean y'all didn't tell him that?
That's scary.
Nah. And the funny thing is that day I went to go pick up another AR and I called the cops from the gun store. And I was like, yeah, there's a guy who is literally at my job, spent the whole day there, and is driving up and down the streets. I said, I'm calling, when they take the report, I said, I'm not calling because I'm scared. I'm calling because if I have to defend myself, I just want there to be something on record that I made this phone call.
Man. Yeah. I didn't mean to get us off course.
Brother Ken say, but he loved you, brother. That's scary.
Yep. Let's continue. So this is why you don't want to get caught up in Mark 16:17. You don't want to get caught up trying to follow people because they have signs.
They private interpretations.
Private interpretations, signs. You don't want to follow someone because they carry the title Man of Yah. Because I went through the comment section of T.D. Jakes, Joel Osteen, and Creflo Dollar, and all the people in the comment section were calling him a man of God. I needed this word today, Pastor Dollar. Pastor Dollar, I needed this word today. Oh, it touched me. Oh, it helped me. Oh. But then you go into the faith and you see people saying the same stuff.
Yes, sir.
Which makes you wonder, are we just doing Christianity, as Brother David says, 3.0? Roman Christianity a la carte?
I would argue we are.
That's all we're doing. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2.
I'll clarify. When I say we, I don't mean us three. I just mean people at large. Because
Yeah.
we ain't. I'll just say that for the record.
Nope. The gospel said this is on record, so timestamp that. Yes, sir. Second Thessalonians chapter 2. And we're going to start at verse 3. All right, we're going to read to verse 12. Let no, brothers and sisters, this is for you. Let no man deceive you by any means. For that day, I
don't know if it's...
Yeah, he has the invite. He'll be back.
Okay.
Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called Yah, or that is worshipped, so that he, as Yah sitteth in the temple of Yah, showeth himself that he is Yah. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. And now ye know that ye know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked one be revealed, whom Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Again, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power. Listen to that. It says with Satan with all power, and signs, and lying wonders.
Man.
And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause, Yah shall give them strong delusions, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believed not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. So again, signs, as we read multiple examples of it.
Yep.
There are many examples of lying signs and wonders to deceive people. All power, Satan, signs. And we've become a nation of people, being Israel, that always looketh after a sign. We want to see miracles happen before we believe.
So instead of folks looking for and operating in the love of the truth, which is in the word, by the way, it is the word, the loving the word, guarding the word, keeping it, actively fighting for and guarding against anything that would come against it, you reject. That's that loving the word of righteousness. Instead of that, people want to be inclined to moved by their feelings. They want to be moved by what they can see, by what they can feel and touch, by what they can hear someone say.
Truth. Truth. Mother Kate said, Satan's lying signs will appear like holy signs, but tested by the word, they will fail.
That's it, man. That is spot on.
That's it.
And that is spot on. And that leads, I will say this, you know, people better return to a place of, well, you do what you want to do. I'll say it this way. If you do not want to be deceived and you want to stand a chance at life with the Father, I would highly suggest that you then test and prove all things by the word. Yah's word. Not my word, not Brother Aaron's word, not Brother Andre's word, not your word of your own opinion, not the word of your private interpretation. The book plus nothing. Yah's word, nothing else.
Nothing else. Sister Sky, who belongs to my beloved brother David right there, said, but faith is the evidence of things unseen. If you have true belief or faith, which is what belief is, it's not based on what you can see. Just like when people use that verse, by their fruit ye shall know them. Immediately people say, look at what I've got. That's my fruit.
Nope, it can't be.
Can't. It can't be. Because then every other prepper, every other basketball star, LeBron James, Jay-Z, all of them could say, well, look at my fruit then. Creflo Dollar could say that. TD Jakes could say that. Joel Osteen could say that. Every one of those people could say, look at my fruit. I'm serving God, and you can see it.
It can't even be look at my work ethic. Look at how good I can build the buildings, or how perfectly square and straight and true my lines of my buildings are. It can't even be that.
It can't even be that.
So heathens have way more fruit than we could ever imagine having.
Yep.
It can't be that.
I don't see many Israelites building skyscrapers. So it can't be, look, I built this building. That's my fruit. Now, that may be a sign. That may be not a sign. That may be one thing. That's not the totality of it. That's a very small portion.
That's it.
A very small portion. Because how about this? I do recall the Bible even talking about the fruit of your body. Therefore, that would mean that your children are also your fruit. There he is. Your children are also your fruit. Where are they at?
Right.
So you can't just say, oh, the fruit is, I do believe the Bible does also say the fruits of the Spirit.
Yes, sir.
So there are many examples of fruit outside of, you can't come to the rock and say, well, look at the fruit. You can see the fruit of my hands. But that doesn't mean that because I built the rock does not mean that I'm perfect or serving Yah. Because I know many preppers that don't keep a lick of the law who have really elaborate homesteads. Right. First last said, be fruitful and multiply. So there's a sign of fruit then. So you can't and this is a problem. We have a problem with people taking one or two verses and developing a whole messed up doctrine. Yep. We have doctrines out there where people say, I can eat anything I want to because Peter had a dream of a sheep that came down from the Shemaim. And all manner of animals were on it. And it said, look, take and eat. But you don't keep it in context. When Peter then realizes at the end that vision was about man. It was about different types of men that all are to be received. All types of men are to be received. But you don't keep it in context, you blow it.
Dang.
Sister Sky said, see our fruit in how our marriage stands year after year and grows stronger, more knowledgeable, wiser, and how our children deny the world and follow their father. Woo!
Hallelujah.
You want to see fruit?
Right.
You want to see the fruit of a man? Ask that man, who is he under? And he tells you, well, I'm under Pastor Kunta Kinte. That should let you know that he probably don't got much fruit.
Hey, you on the Pastor Kunta? I can't roll with you because I only rock with Pastor Toby. I can't rock with those Pastor Kuntas.
You only bargain with people with 2 feet.
A lot of these men are I'm being serious. I really believe so, because some of these men are already being effed and they don't even know it.
Yep. And it always starts in the invisible realm first.
Yep.
And then so that once happened already. Say that again.
Being visibly on their knees weeks and months and years before time.
Absolutely. So it's like, well, don't act like it's a surprise when it's physically. I'll leave it at that.
Right.
Becomes apparent.
And then just to make sure that you in line, some of y'all got plugs in you with little shockers on the end of them.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man. That's real.
You start disobeying, he be like, watch him, zap. You be like, ah!
Yep.
That's not the faith. That's not the faith.
That's religion.
That's religion. And you have to remember, the Pharisees hated Yahshua. The systems that were intact, the religious systems that were in at that time hated Yahshua. And they do what some of y'all doing right now. They will go and sit in the background and listen to what he's saying and try to nitpick.
Yep.
Yo, sit in the backdrop, but I know who you are because I can see you. You don't know it, but I can see you. You sit in the backdrop and you think that you're unseen. And you sit there with a pair of tweezers and you try to, well, he said the wrong word. That's what you do. Because you're Pharisees, you're Sadducees, you're scribes. I can, as the Bible says, I can listen to what some of y'all are saying, but I'm not going to do what you do. Because you don't even do what you preach. But some of y'all have said some great stuff. You said, come out of her. I did. But I'm not going to do what you do. Which is exactly what Yahshua said. I'm not going to do that.
Some good stuff, bro. There's some real good stuff. So you're gonna just live it.
That's it.
Not just lick it, suck it, or kiss it. And you know that's what some of these people are doing. But calling themselves men. I'm a real man. Because I know how to get up under somebody.
Yep.
Man.
And they even teach that's what a real man does. They teach you that a real man climbs under somebody else.
Hey, I'll just stay like the book of Sirach say and keep myself in the position of preeminence.
Ooh.
I ain't getting under nobody. I'll just stay on top.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to give my power over to my brother, my friend, my wife, or my child.
There it is.
Mother K said, and get a better salvation by paying more.
No, I'll keep my deed and my daughters and my money, unless it's in my heart to give because it's what I want to give, and not because somebody is trying to, state it as if my salvation depends upon it.
It's on the line.
Yeah. Nah, I'll keep my preeminence.
I'll keep my land.
Brother, you get a better spot in heaven and Shemaim if we can get, maybe 40 of those acres.
I'll just, all I want is what Yah is giving.
Yes, sir.
And if that's crumbs, I'll roll with that.
Right.
Yes.
Grim Survival said, in my opinion, a real man steps around, over, or moves anyone getting between him and Yah. That's not opinion, brother. That's fact.
That's facts.
That's facts.
I'll say he probably don't even step around him. I'll mow through him.
Right.
You trying to get between me and Yah.
Right. I'm going to be like Bo Jackson on Tecmo Bowl. I'm just going to roll right through you.
Not the new age football. We're talking about old school.
Old school Tecmo Bowl. They had like 13 teams.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. Man, you went way back there. You said Tecmo Bowl.
So we're just trying to help you men understand that you don't have to do this stuff.
Nope.
It was not intended for you. And then you do it, and then you have the nerve to try and flex on your wife.
Man.
Ain't no need to do that. I'm gonna say about 99.9% of the women are not gonna follow you if you bent over in front of some man talking about, Pastor, I need you to tell me when the bill of fire. Pastor, I need you to tell me what land to buy and where to buy it at. And I can already tell you, a woman ain't gonna follow that. I'm gonna just say it like this: they gonna follow a real man.
Yep.
A man that's following the Most High.
Yep.
Without reservation and without a cheerleading squad.
Pastor Fox said, but there are captains of 10s, 50s, etc. Yes, there are captains. But that does not mean I'm laying my deed in front of my captain.
Nah.
Or your daughter.
Or my daughter.
Good.
Nope. That's right, brother Kids. Oh, go ahead, brother David.
Now I was just gonna say, when it's time to go to war, or I'll have no problem rolling up under the captain of the 10s or the captain of 50s, etc. When them captains are sitting there with their hands held out for deeds or daughters or everything that you own and so forth, I'll just say I'd have to hear from y'all.
Right.
But I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Because there are people that do teach. But when a person teaches, they're not trying to make gain of you. They're not looking for you to pay their bills.
Right.
I mean, I know people like to throw out that verse, the laborer is worthy of the hire. The nigga get a job.
No doubt.
Yeah.
If the laborer is worthy of his hire, then what you're saying is that you as a leader in Israel, that you count this a job. That means that we're nothing but merchandise.
Right.
I was just thinking about the 10s and the captains over 10s and 50s and 100s and all that. And I guess one thing that stood out to me is, if we go back to Moshe's father-in-law who made the suggestion, we got to look at what was those captains doing. They were supposed to be helping Moses judge matters. I assume the ones that did not need to be escalated up to him. And I got what Pastor Joe Fox was saying, but I just wanted to state that because a lot of ministries now will say, well, you got to get up under somebody and get up under me and get up under this brother in order for you to be Israel. So what I'm looking at is, what were they doing? And we have to take this thing real practical. When we look at the commandments, or we looking through the Old Testament, you got to look at, okay, well, why did he appoint these men to be over other men? They were judging matters. I'm assuming they were. If I just look at what the book is saying, hey, Moses had a lot to do. He had a lot on his plate. So, hey, Henry, can you judge that matter over there?
Yes.
You well versed in the law. You should be able to judge between what happened between Judah and this other person.
Right.
But not so. They wasn't teaching, hey, I got to have your stuff. Why you up under me? I'm going to need you to make sure you submit some tithes and offering to me. Come by my house and make sure your wife clean up my house on Thursday. And I'll be laying hands on her for personal prayer Wednesday nights while you in the tabernacle cleaning up.
Right.
And that's really what the faith has come to. It's really like I heard Brother David and Father Yahshua say, it really is Christianity 3.0 because they're just repeating and rehearsing the same bullshit that they did over in Christianity. Without a doubt. And I believe, men, if you following this type of leadership, it's not so much that you don't know. I'm at a point where I would say, I don't think it's that you don't know. I think it's that's because you choose to do that because it's easy. It's easy to have some other man over your wife, your children, and you.
And your land.
All you have to do is, yeah, it's easy for them to do all that. But what's the price? What's the end result? Your wife ain't gonna, you don't think your wife gonna serve you when she see you serving some other man like that. It don't work like that. Women do not gravitate toward weak men. It just don't happen like that. And for the brothers, they gonna get more than one. I just use this. For you brothers think you gonna get more than one wife to follow in that kind of leadership, you crazy. And if by chance you do get another wife under that kind of leadership, you got to look at what did you just give up that you didn't realize you just gave up. It could be what?
That's
one
it.
Of your daughter.
Sister Kay said of her husband, Brother Michael, she said, my older brother once told me the man that I will fall in love with is the man I cannot control. My master, that's Michael Sanders, is not controlled by no man or woman. I honor this man because he is a man. Thank you, Master Michael. That's the thing. Women, here's one thing that I've noticed. When women understand polygyny or order, it's usually because she honors her husband. When she honors her husband, she already understands order. Most women don't understand order because they think it's about themselves.
Yep.
Therefore, they're always in a combative environment trying to take the reins from the husband because they watch the husband become pussified. And when you watch your husband wipe the ass of another man and trying to get in good with him, she's going to look at that man and say, he ain't going to protect me. He can't lead this family the way it's supposed to go. He can't make the tough decisions. So then that wife that you have is going to go to the elders of the church because she knows you can't do it.
That's something. Man.
And as Brother Andre was saying about the judges in Israel, they were supposed to judge matters that were pertaining to the law. They didn't go in and start intervening. Men didn't go and ask these elders in Israel questions like, hey, should I buy this land? Can I marry this woman?
Right.
Do I have your permission to use my penis today?
And these elders were, these captains, these elders were dealing with matters that were brought to them.
Brought to them.
brought to them.
Man.
Woo! You mean they didn't go to people's land? See, people say, well, I keep the law. Doesn't the Bible say not to remove the landmark? Doesn't the Bible say we are not to trespass against our brother?
That's what it says.
Doesn't every man have authority over his own house?
Yes, sir.
So if another man comes in and thinks that he has a right to tell me, if you want to go based on the law, brothers, if you all live on one man's land, there's only one owner of the land. The rest of you are servants. That's why they tell you what to do.
That's what it is, too.
You're a servant if you want to go on the law. That's what the law would say. If he's telling you what to do, if he's telling you you can or can't get married, you're a servant. So then stop reading the law as if you're a brother and start reading the law as if you're a servant.
Yes, sir.
Get a better, if you want, if you,
words,
exactly. Stop bullshitting. That's bullshit. See, what they're doing is they're selling you the idea that you're a brother. You're a servant. Read the law and then go and read the renewed covenant on what it says on how a servant is to obey their master. That's you.
And those in charge of those systems, they already know this and understand it too. And you want a litmus test for this? Try to leave one of these ministries with some of these women that these folks gave you and watch what happens.
Man.
Watch who's leaving with you.
That'll let them know quick. Their master had given them a wife.
There it is.
And what does the book say about that? The book says when the servant leaves, if the master gave you a wife, when the servant leaves, the wife and the children stay with the master.
Yes, sir.
And these dudes be getting mad because they feel like everybody else is operating, out of line with the book, only to discover that pastor, though he did it through trickery, that elder or pastor or whoever else it was, operating 100% in accordance with the book. That wife that's not following you because she's standing right there with the man who gave her to you, operating 100% in accordance to the book. The only person that wasn't operating in accordance to the book in that scenario is you.
You're mad at your master. You're mad at your master. When in reality, the only way you are to keep that wife and child is take your ear, bear it with an awl to the doorpost.
Yes, sir.
Stay there for the rest of your life.
The rest of your life, which is exactly what you're going to end up doing anyways if you want to keep her. You better stay part of that ministry or church, because the moment you leave, she's staying. Based on the word, the law, you just got deceived in the servanthood.
Yep.
That's
I heard you talking earlier, and it had made me think. Some guys, they real strong about honoring their leader. Their elder, their pastor, whoever it is, their deacon, their bishop. And they would literally wipe that man's tail if something was to happen to them. But they're so far off of the book, off the word of Yah, that they won't even do that for their own blood father.
Man.
That may be still living.
Yes, sir.
How you get around honor your father?
I got it, because they try to say, hey, well, wait, he ain't in the faith. Only problem is, where does it say that?
It's not stated in the book.
Or they pull that.
Oh, Lord. Nope, I really truly believe at the end of these, these people's walk, these men walk, Yah is going to show them how displeased he is when we break his laws and his commandments, and then therefore lean into our own understanding. I mean, it's a high price, man. I'm be honest with you. I used to think like that about a lot of stuff, especially concerning my dad been good to me. My father been good to me. My grandfather, those people been good to me. But I used to think that when I first came into the faith, I was like, well, man, they ain't even following they ain't following the same thing I'm following to the letter or degree that I'm following. And I started reading, and I was like, hold on a second. Did it say in Sirach, you supposed to have a certain level of honor, so you will have children, so you'll be blessed, so your days will be long? Man, I mean, that's stuff powerful. Because it really...
And don't add to the book.
Yeah, it makes you go back. Exactly. It makes you go back to the book and say, man, I was off in this. Because you know there are groups of people that's teaching that. Hey, your family, they had a pork chop. They going to hell. Well, hold on a second. You want me to disown my father and my mother because they still eating pork chops? But I was eating pork chops 10 years ago, 8 years ago, whatever it was, 7 years ago.
Yes, sir.
But I'm supposed to throw them in the garbage can now and accept you as my new spiritual father? That I can't find even the first word, spiritual father, in the book?
And we can throw all that bullshit out by just looking at how Ishmael dealt with Abraham.
Man,
there it is.
And Ishmael got kicked out by his own father. And still, and not just him, but the sons that Abraham had with Keturah that he sent away. When Abraham died, they honored him.
Yes, sir.
Deeply. Not just them, but the king of the Philistines. See, men, a lot of y'all don't understand, apparently, or want honor. The Bible says a man's name in the building of a city are two great honorable things. Most of y'all don't care about your name for shit because your name has been absorbed into the church. You've got no name.
They think their name is the elder's name.
Yep.
I got a great name because I'm attached to elder such and such or pastor such and such. No, that ain't the book.
And what most of y'all may not even understand, check this, is your name may actually be getting cut out. Because your name just got absorbed. Who is Brother Johnson? We don't even know who he is anymore. The last time I heard, he was with, Camp whatever.
Yes, sir.
He gone. His name is gone.
Man.
He's got his own little secret private Israel over there.
That's something.
This is why we have to have a true understanding of the book. And when you live it, you ain't really got to worry about all the extras. I saw Grim Survival said, where is it at? 2 Timothy 4:3-4. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but they will want their ears to be tickled. People want to be tickled.
We see that a lot.
Yep. Go ahead, Brother David.
Yeah, we see that a lot. I don't like what he said over here, so let me go over here and listen to him over here and see if maybe what they'll say agrees with me. Not that I agree, because it's true, but it agrees with what I want to do. So let me keep sliding around till somebody can scratch my itching ear.
Yep. Look what Mother Kate said. A priest cannot tell you to tithe to him and let your parents starve.
Man.
But some of y'all would do that.
Sound like you can't give everything and be in a position to take care of your folks when they need it.
I was about to say that, Brother David. So you're a man and you have your own homestead. And let's say something befalls your parents and you are in a place to honor them as the book says. To care for them in their old age. Instead of throwing them into a convalescent home. Instead of caring for them, you can't care for them because you gave your land to following Yahshua. And I said your parents can't come here.
Oh, man.
And you think y'all gonna be pleased with that foolishness?
That's confusion, and Yah is not the author of confusion.
Yes, sir.
He's not. I mean, you can sure mandate it. Hey, mother, father, this is my land, and it is a set-apart land, so we won't be eating pork here.
Right.
We will not defile the land. But you are sure free to come here and live as long as you are willing to adhere to the rules that I have set, so that the land may not be defiled.
Yes, sir.
That's it. And that's, and people say, well, you can't do that. Well, didn't the stranger dwell with Israel? Did the stranger have complete knowledge of the law when he was dwelling with Israel? No. The stranger was likely learning when the Egyptians and all the other different types of people left Egypt. They didn't leave Egypt and be like, and the Egyptian was like, man, I got this law on point.
They had to be taught.
They had to be taught. And your parents may just have to sit back and learn from you. But how are you going to be the example to your parents, to your father and mother? Think about that example. Think about that testimony of you honoring them and teaching them in a sense by your example in life. While in their old years, they can look at you and say, my son had it right. Look at him.
And I'll add to that even.
Whatever God he has, I want to know that God. I want to know that El. I want to know that Yah. Because look at this. Look at him. But you can't do nothing for him because you're a servant.
Yes, sir.
Look what Abraham did for his phone.
Yes, sir. And perhaps we look at it wrong, where we look at it from a perspective of what we're going to receive from our parents, what we're going to receive from our parents as a result of us doing this. But when I read the book, what I see is what you're going to receive from your parent or your children as a result of you doing this for your parents. So it's almost like the wrong perspective that we're doing it. This book tells us you do this. In other words, this righteousness you sow, so that when it's time to reap, you can reap the same righteousness. You can reap the same honor.
Woo! I saw a brother Justin. Shalom. Shabbat shalom, brother Justin. Brother Alex said, my dad is starting to keep the commandments. It brings me a ton of peace to see that. But how are you going to be that example to your parents if your parents can't even talk to you anymore because they aren't your parents anymore because you now have spiritual parents?
Nah. To me, that's one of those examples of where you may have let some other person counsel you against your own soul. In other words, counsel you against the book. And anyone else on the face of this earth would have came and told you the same thing, and you would have very swiftly rejected it. But because it's this person, pastor such and such, elder, whoever, you receive it because he was right over here. He was right up until this point, you perceive. But this last 5% of poison was enough to now be deadly. And if you think Yah's going to be pleased with that stuff and change his rules, change his laws, change how he sees things for you, you're mistaken. That's why it is so critical and important for us to read this book, understand this book, and test everything that we operate off of based off of that, not in accordance to what somebody else, whoever else it is, says it, but in accordance to this book. We measure all things by the matrix of this book. And if it doesn't slide through the grading, you reject it. It don't fit. It ain't for me. Y'all do that over there if that's what you believe. But what I believe has to pass through this matrix of the book. And if it ain't down here, I can't roll with it, period. I don't care how good it sounds or who said it.
Yes.
Don't get caught up in this, but such and such. And that's pretty homophobic. I'll just say that, going back to the analogies we were using earlier.
in the invisible realm, you're doing some nasty, sick, wicked stuff.
Yep.
And what you're receiving into your person based on who that is that's giving it to you. And it's high time people start to repent and turn from that filth.
Yes, sir.
You think it's the Holy Spirit, and what you don't understand, men, is that you have another man's spirit penetrating you. It's his spirit penetrating you. And you think that that's Yah.
It's not.
There it is. Brother Rico said it. And we talked about this recently. The Bible says, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which Yahweh thy Elohim giveth thee. That's why most of y'all ain't got no land. You have to go to somebody else's land because you ain't honoring your father and your mother. Again, you don't have to obey them to honor them. So anybody that tells you to dishonor your father and your mother by doing videos about them, or by talking shit about them, or by doing little snippet comments or dishonoring them, they are a Torah breaker.
Yes, sir.
Rico then said, in Sirach 3:8, honor your father and your mother both in word and deed, that a blessing may come upon you from them. Word and deed.
Because their blessings establish a lot for you. That's the book.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Right. And those blessings are actually from the Father due to your obedience. It doesn't need, there's no equivocation about it. There is no sliding in or sliding out. There is no confusing of words. He said it simply. That's real simple to understand. It don't take no deep third degree, fifth elevation of the cosmos understanding. You don't have to pray for 3 hours to get that. It's pretty simple. The problem is that we won't do it.
You just touched on something, brother.
Yes, sir.
On that Sirach 3:8, when it talks about you honor them in word and deed, that a blessing may come upon you for them. See, that's half of the problem is a lot of us don't even have the mentality of the book because we don't read it. So we don't think that, okay, well, I'm going to inherit something from my father based on what I have done towards them in honor.
Man.
And therefore, we will think about it when our sons come along, because we're too busy giving it away. I mean, if we really understood it and knew the truth, you wouldn't give your shit away. Because it don't belong to it's not your bloodline heir.
That's real.
That means you really don't give a damn about having an inheritance for your children.
That's true.
You really don't. You really don't care about your children. You ain't gonna leave. You nothing different than the world when it comes to their children, where all their children inherit is nothing or debt.
But I guarantee you, when that pastor or elder, whoever it is, when it's time for him to pull up his feet, his children gonna receive that which he have. And sadly, what they're gonna be receiving a lot of didn't even come from him. It came from y'all. His children are gonna be receiving that which your children should have been receiving.
Whoa.
Man.
Yahshua, my salvation said, this is deep. Yahshua, my salvation said, your children will inherit your servanthood.
That's on point.
Damn.
Man.
They'll be born in a servitude and die in servitude.
This is what I inherited from my daddy. That's what he taught me. To bend over and give everything.
Give it all. He said give everything. That's way too much to give.
Man. Yes.
And he said, just like the curses, you're right. You're just inheriting the curses of your. Think about this, men. So many men today say, I don't like the government being in my business. I want to be able to be a sovereign man. And I hate when they are making rules, oppressive rules, and I'm a patriot. I'm a libertarian. I should have the right to make my own decisions as a man. Until it comes to the faith. And then Yah gives you this whole area. He says, I have a law. Keep my law. And then you are able to do what you please within my law. Now, not all things are expedient for you to do. Not everything's expedient for you to do, but that's still your choice.
Right.
It's still your choice. I've made a lot of decisions that people would have said they would not have considered expedient for. People tried to warn me about coming out here to the Ozarks, to all these racist white people. Here I am.
Hallelujah.
And had I not come here, I would have never met Brother David. Would have never met HOQ. I would have been still in southern Arizona.
Where you also have racist white people.
And I lived in Southern California near a city called Fallbrook, where there were Aryan nations.
Right.
People think California is this great mixing pot. California's got a lot of racism. A lot.
When you have people, you have racist people.
Right.
Racist white folk, racist black folks, racist every shade of folks there are. Because that's just in the heart of certain people.
Yep.
Till you deliver and you just live for something greater than yourself.
Yep. Like I said, whenever bullets have ever flown in my direction to try and take my life, the person behind the gun always looked like me. That's all I'm gonna say. And I've had many bullets fly in my direction, and the person looked like me.
Mine looks like Avi, but I still forgive y'all.
Oh gosh.
I think I heard a
Right.
Anyway.
Right.
That doesn't mean that all Arabs are evil either.
Right. Oh, Shada Zulu. Shalom, shalom, my brother. He said, same here. Same here. So the whole point we're trying to make is you have to, as a man, be willing to stand on your own feet. We can help you. Helping you is not walking it for you.
Man, ooh, you might want to say that again.
We can help you. Helping you is not walking it for you. What we're doing right here, we're trying to show you it is your responsibility to walk this thing. We're just trying to give you a little snippet of an example. And we're trying to give you a little bit of a snippet of an idea that is very foreign in the church today, which is you don't need some man as your umbrella.
Hallelujah.
You can do it. You can serve like our ancestors did. We're not saying you don't need counselors, because you do. We're not saying you don't need elders. There need to be elders in Israel. But let me tell you, and many of these men that are so-called elders are not qualified. They're only elder in age, not in knowledge.
And you better find out what need they have of you before you receive their counsel.
That's the book. The book tells you to understand what need, because it says in Sirach, he may send you in a direction just to see what happens to you.
Yep.
You may be his example. Hey, you, go over there, let me see what happens to you. And then when shit befalls you, he's like, oh crap, I ain't going that way.
Don't do that. We ain't going that way.
We ain't going that way. I was about to, but thank the Father that JoJo went that way and got absolutely slaughtered. So now I know, don't go that way. But JoJo was a good brother. He was a good brother in the faith. JoJo's gone and his wife is widowed, but guess who's there to pick up the slack for JoJo?
Yep.
Y'all don't strategically pick out y'all brothers and stuff, your brethren, because y'all want stuff from them. Like, Brother David, you got that lumber mill over there. Let me see. Brother David can possibly give me some lumber for my new home on my land. FY has a very large garden. Eggs everywhere. He can fill up my refrigerator and my freezer, and goats too. Y'all don't pick out people strategically, brother. Y'all just pick them out because they live the book. That's something that we actually need.
Yes, sir.
That's the requirement that I have.
You should hold on, y'all got some sons and some daughters. You don't pick people out just because they got a bunch of daughters or sons.
In fact, I'll say this: if you're a whole lot richer than I am, I ain't gonna fool with you because I just live the book. I believe the counsel that it told me.
Yep. And the book does.
You doing a whole lot better than me, and I'm grateful that you are. But I ain't gonna roll with you because I just believe the book.
That's what it says. And that's an apocrypha. It's in Sirach. So what that means, it's nothing personal.
Mm-mm.
I'm just gonna do what the book says. But I don't understand. Right. People say, well, I don't understand. Let me tell you, I don't necessarily get it either. But let me tell you what the book said. And that's what.
I get it. It makes sense to me.
Well, yeah, it does make sense to me too. It makes sense to me too.
Yeah. Whenever something go wrong in your eyes, it's gonna be because of me. That's what it means. And you gonna have the power to do something about it, and I won't.
Yep.
I just stay over here in my lowly estate and live a quiet, peaceful life.
Yes, sir.
There you go, Shadazul. The book plus nothing. There's a lot of people today. There are teachers, so-called, in Israel, so-called, that are telling other men how to do polygyny. You have to do it this way. If you don't do it this way, then you're this kind of person. And I'm looking like,
you gotta come through me.
Yeah. I'm like, where do people get all this supposed wisdom? Why is it?
You're not.
Go ahead, brother.
You're not talking about these so-called gurus who be mixing up all these religions and then have the nerve to only address how Israelites should live, how Hebrews should live. You ain't talking about these so-called people that write books and stuff and have women all over the world, supposedly, are you? We can't listen to that stuff.
I'll only vouch for the advice that this book gives, and I can see that when Jacob moved, those who were part of him moved, they were with him. That's what I see.
I see it as it's kind of hard to cover and protect and be willing to die for somebody on the other side of the country.
Hold on, baby. I'll be there in 3 days.
Hey, that person is taken. That person is dead. Whatever's going to happen to him is already done.
Gone. I mean, just look at what happened in Texas. Can you imagine having a wife randomly in Texas? She's like, baby, I'm freezing. I'm like, shit.
He can't get there. He got a ski mobile.
We're just saying, if you actually live the book, brothers and sisters, and this is what we're trying to say, this is why we're destroying religion. If you just live the book, it tells you. The Bible doesn't tell you. Run around and follow people with a bunch of signs.
Hey, that's a good one, Sky. Hey, baby, I'll be there in 3 days. Run in place till I get there. And whatever you do, don't go to sleep.
Don't stop moving. Don't stop moving.
Oh, my. Man.
Westholt Ford said, if they don't live with you, they are not your wife.
Yes,
that's pretty much how I believe.
I'm gonna have to roll with that. I see it as Israel. When a patriarch had more than one wife, they were a family. If I got one woman way over there and one way over there, I have two different families. I'm just saying.
Yeah. You right, bro.
Damn.
This is what happens when people add to the book, and then they bury it behind some because when people always come with crazy shit, they always gotta justify it by who I am, and I'll say something like, y'all have to suck my right big toe, but I studied 18 cultures. I can speak 26 languages. I convened with Yah. I met Moshe. I had dinner with Daniel. One time Yah called me a man after his own heart. They always say that after they always preface some bullshit with something about themselves that makes you feel like you should listen to them.
You know where I put that? I put that in that same bin as folks who might say, hey, y'all told me to tell y'all, or tell you. I'm like, oh, yeah, hold on. That goes in the discard bin over here.
Right.
Like, that's weird, brother. They responded. Nah, you'll never hear from me.
Right.
It's in the discard bin.
Like, I talked to Brother David about, I don't have to come up here because, see, if you're doing the will of Yah, people will see it.
Yes, sir.
I don't have to scare the shit out of you. If you don't listen to me, the last time somebody didn't listen to me, they ended up raped and in the trash can.
Right.
Well,
every bad thing that ever happened to you is because you left this group.
Right.
But wait a minute. What about these folks over here that's dealing with this stuff worse than this that's still there with you? What about that? Oh, that's different. Never mind. Yeah.
What about all the single sisters that may have been in Texas?
oh man.
We'll listen to you week after week. Sending you everything they got.
They faithful givers, aren't they? They faithfully gave.
Got any extra heat? Wait, I bet they got a crew from certain ministries though that were like beelining it down there to Texas to get those folks some relief. Probably not. I'd almost bet they did.
And these signs shall follow them that believe. That's what they'll say. Or they'll pacify it by saying something like, well, they must have had some secret wickedness going on with them.
There it is. Oh, yeah. There it is.
So the signs and wonders, it stopped at the Texas border.
It stops with that perceived inability for them funds to keep flowing in their direction.
That's it. Man.
And that's why a lot of people are suffering right now, because all they do is trust in systems. For some reason, the one system that they say they believe in, Yah's system, is the one that they never look to.
You're right.
That's the one they don't want help from. Give me the government, give me religion, give me some sort, anything but Yah's system.
Yep.
Because if you actually read the book, you would see that Yah's system tells us a lot about self-sufficiency.
Yes, sir.
Preserving yourself. Working out your own salvation.
The path of salvation.
Your own salvation.
The elder salvation.
Your own salvation.
Wow, brother. That's deep.
With fear and trembling. It says fear and trembling.
Man.
It just goes to show you that people ain't really working out their salvation then. How are you working out your salvation if you ain't even got the tools?
Man.
You letting somebody else apply the pressure on that wrench. You can't even tell him, hey. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, no fear and trembling because you're just assured that everything gonna be all right.
Man.
Like, man, huh? What? I don't see that in my book. Okay. Guess I'll see how that works out for you.
Right. And again, if you like that life, I'm cool with it. I ain't got no problem with it. But at least be honest with yourself.
Yes, sir.
Be honest with yourself. If you're cool being a servant, be a servant. I have no problem with it. That may actually be your way to get to the kingdom.
Unless you die in a recliner during the ice storm, snowstorm.
Yeah, if you like it, I love it. But don't tell me it's lotion. Just call it lube. Don't tell me it's lotion. Just call it what it is.
Right.
It's yours. It don't matter to me what it is.
Right.
Just call it what it is.
Just say be honest with you. And that, if you can't be honest with yourself, you're going to lead yourself to self-deception.
Right.
You're going to deceive yourself by simply saying, I'm a brother and not a servant.
Yep.
You can say I'm a brother that sold myself into servitude, fine. But you have to admit the truth. The Bible says
my
that...
wife's going to follow me anyway.
Right. Right.
It don't matter that she came from elder such to such. If I say we leaving this ministry today, she leaving with me. I know it.
Watch. Watch what happens.
You sure?
If you couldn't marry her without permission, without direction, she ain't gonna stay with you.
Nope.
She gonna look at that pastor, that elder.
You trying to please? Yes, sir.
Because first of all, things are already out of
please ministry ABC.
Things are already out of order.
Your wife. Yes, sir.
By the fact that it's not her father, it's the ministry head who overthrew the father.
Woo.
Doesn't the Bible say let all things be done decently and in order? So what happened to the...
I'll stay in these shoes. I wouldn't want to be in some folks' shoes.
No, man.
Not when they meet, yeah.
The buck.
That would be stealing from your brother. I'm gonna just say that. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there. If I were to steal Brother David's or FY's daughter and marry them and collect monies, wouldn't that be stealing? Wouldn't that be breaking a commandment? How do I usurp my authority and call myself? I can't be no spiritual father. That's their real father.
Right. Brother Alex said it. I was about to say it. Brother Alex said, spiritual father, nah, that's spiritual kidnapping. That's actually kidnapping.
That's going to lead to a real death, either natural or spiritual, or both of them.
Right.
Yes, sir.
That man.
And that's anti-Torah. That's anti-law.
Yes, sir.
Man.
Brother Alex has a death penalty, and that's from a cop.
Yes, sir.
I think that he would understand the definition of kidnapping.
Yes, sir.
Man.
Yahshua, my salvation said, spiritual fatherhood leads to a physical aspect. I would say he's correct.
Yep. Man.
I would not want to answer. See, some people are they're getting their reward here on earth. And then because see, people don't understand that. You can sin and get a reward on earth and then use that reward as deception to say, Yah's with me.
That's why the book tells you don't look at what people have right now.
as if that's the measure of how they're doing. Now, you wait till the end.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people are going to be in front of the Father, and you're going to have to answer for all these wicked ass, unrighteous judgments that you felt or thought about people. Because somebody convinced you that something that's not in the Bible is law.
Man.
That
goes deep right there.
If anybody has a problem with the fact that you're a servant, I would encourage you, go read the Torah and see, did I say something that was against the law? If you are a person and you work at a job and your boss tells you what to do, are you not a servant to McDonald's?
Most definitely.
You can call it an employee. You're just a servant. You serve the want and the will of McDonald's.
Yes, sir.
So if you are a man and you are listening to another man and obeying him like that, admit it to yourself. You're a servant. Now go read the law about how to be a good servant. And hope that he punches you in your mouth so that you can lose a tooth and go free.
Man. Yeah, I would encourage all men. You know, and when I say men, I'm talking about you got 2 testicles and a penis.
That you're born with.
But do right. Nothing added. You didn't go to the doctor's office and get no extra stuff put on. I'm just saying, I would encourage all men. You should just learn how to be the supreme. Read this book, live it, and learn how to be the supreme ruler of your land, your home, your family.
Right.
And no one else.
Right.
Matter of fact, won't you be, watch this now, don't get too spiritually caught up into this, but the book does say, ye are what? God.
L's.
Won't you just live like one? Won't you, since you made in the image and likeness of the Most High, won't you just be like him? Instead of being like your pastor. Instead of being like the will. Won't you follow the Most just live that alone, and I can almost guarantee you that you should make it in. Keep the commandments and just live that. Because your family is your first ministry.
Man.
Not your pastor. Not the so-called first family or the assembly or the church. That's not your first ministry. It's your family. Go do that. Be spectacular and magnificent in that. You
got single women paying for the pastor's vacation and they ain't even got a husband.
Man, that's wicked.
They paying for pastor's vacation overseas.
Single women?
And these women sitting here without a covering. They paying for their spiritual covering to go have a vacation with his wife.
You mean they not getting ready for a husband? They not taking them same dollars and getting themselves ready for a husband? Paying off, the ones that's out of their father's house. They not paying off debt.
They're investing into a house that they will never belong to. Where do you see that in the Bible? Where did a woman invest in a house that she did not belong to?
I can tell you where.
Go ahead, Brother David.
Those who were deceived by vain religions and false doctrines.
There it is.
That's what that falls on. Foolishness.
That is.
Man.
Yahshua, my salvation, said, as a man, your job as a servant is to expand the house of your master.
Woo.
And that's Torah. You expanded his house because he was taking care of your ass.
That's not a la carte.
That's law.
There ain't no buffet.
Nope.
Leave this part out if you don't like it.
Right.
I mean, that's what he's serving. Eat up.
And like Elcount said, he said, what about being set free every 7 years? Right.
Man.
See, I don't honestly think that the people actually want this book, because see, I was somebody also that had that idea of community and me being the head was a great idea. I had that idea at one point until I studied the book and saw that person that's on my land with me is not my brother, he's my servant. And I'm lying to him by telling him we're brothers. Now you my servant.
Not only that, but in that situation, you're now yoking up with folks who may not even really be your brother, and you're receiving them as such, and now they're in learning all the intricate details and inner workings of how you do your land, how you run your land, and they're smiling and grinning in your face. It is great while things are great, but then the moment that adversity hits, man, now the true colors come out. And you find out that that person is not your brother, and now you have to go through a whole lot of foolishness and, probably experience some loss and a whole lot of heartache and pain and travail that very easily could have been avoided by just reading the book, believing the book, and being obedient to the book by testing these people out and understanding that everybody that says that they're your brother is not your brother.
Nope.
And you don't accept someone as your brother until you have tested them.
That's the truth. Oh, that's the truth.
They may not even know how to be a friend or have a friend. They got your name in their mouth all the time. They got your business in their mouth all the time. They may not even know, it's not within them to even know how to be a friend.
Right.
Let alone a brother.
This is so true. Man. And this, what we're saying, comes from where?
The book.
The book.
Plus nothing. Sometimes it don't taste good.
That's how when people be having I came to the faith and I read the book and my life's been great. I'm like, you came to the wrong faith then, because I read in Sirach chapter 2, when thou come, my son, my son. My son, men, he's talking to you, my son. When thou come to serve Yahweh, prepare your soul for temptation. So when you truly,
no trials, no temptation.
Right, when you truly come to the faith, you have to understand. See, you're easiest to be plucked out when you're newly planted. That's why you're being told when you come to serve Yahweh, prepare yourself. The devil's going to hit you hard in the beginning because you're easiest. The longer you're in it, yep, that's it. The longer you're in it, the more established you become in your truth. Well, actually, the more you're in anything, if you're in wickedness a long time, you establish a lot of deep roots. Go ahead, Brother David.
You master it.
Oh.
And that right there, that's what we talk about. That's one of the first questions we ask. You talk about these women interested in joining your house. Oh, well, how old are you? Oh, I'm 35. Oh, wow. Let's see. Well, you've probably been out of your father's house for at least 17 years. Man, you've done a whole lot of mastering or something. What's your story? I just cut to the chase. What we're really figuring out is, what have you mastered?
What have you mastered?
You mastered obedience or your own ways. And then the reality, we already know the answer. It ain't obedience, because if you are, it's like we say all the time, people ain't just letting, Tom Brady, 45, he still got a team if he want to. He got a team as long as he want to play.
Yes, sir.
I'll put it that way. In the basketball world, it's the same.
Yep.
When you're doing your job, you're doing it well, you got a home.
Nobody passing you up.
That's true.
When you're a free agent on the outside looking in, and it is everybody else's fault.
You're what they call you in the NBA. You're a journeyman. You've been on like 18 teams in a 30-team league. Every year you want a new team. Every year.
Yeah.
And they're always
That's
one.
indicative it's time to do something else.
Right? Every year it's a 1-year deal. Nobody wants to ever sign you for a long-term contract. It's always a 1-year deal for the league minimum.
And dudes, but while you sitting over there in ease, we ain't just talking about sisters. Because some of y'all dudes out there with these 1-year deals on, 1-year do-over with Yahshua. This year we gonna get it right. This year I ain't gonna just be duped and believe Pastor such and such or elder such and such, every little thing he say. This time I'm gonna get it right. I ain't gonna let him bend me over and take my deed of my daughter or everything I have this time.
Yes, sir.
I left Creflo Dollar and I gave him everything. And you know what? Creflo Dollar's a liar. I'm gonna give it all to Brother Chris instead. Ah, you stupid.
We don't want nothing. All we want is for you to grab hold of this truth. And that's the book. That ain't us.
And have y'all noticed that? On this channel, we don't ever ask you for money. We don't say, hey, Yah loves a cheerful giver. The laborer is worthy of his hire. I don't give you those clichéic, uber Christian verses that I learned. Because I went to a seminary school. I went to a school that had a seminary. And I took some of those seminary classes. And now the pastor's pockets are hurting because people ain't got jobs and they ain't got money to give like that. But we don't ever ask you to give. Here's what we want you to do, men. Have great homes, great families. Come out of her. Take your position. I'm not asking for any of you to come under me. Are y'all asking for any man to come under you?
No, we don't want you.
What we're hoping is that you learn and then you go and follow Yahshua.
Yes, sir.
That's it. That's what we want from you. We want you to be men. Because Israel's not going to be strong if you got one strong man and a bunch of dumbasses.
Damn.
One alpha, and he's not really an alpha. He's just a very strong beta.
Yep.
One strong beta and lesser betas.
That's really how the brotherhood is built. Strong men building strong homes, foundations based on Torah, actually living it. And of course, we're talking about walking out the New Testament as well. But I'm just saying the book in its entirety.
Yes.
Including that's how the brotherhood is really built. Those men actually coming together with not only like-minded, but even like actions, like spirit.
Yes.
Sir.
That's how we become strong. That's really a brotherhood. That's really a unit. That's really Israel.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
That's how we were supposed to be.
Yes, sir. We're different organs, but we can tell our blood type is the same. We are of the same body. Our functions may be a little bit different because we're different organs, but we mesh up. We create the same body.
And that may mean that us and you may never fellowship and be close like that because the foot and the hand aren't close like that. We have different functions, but we both know, I know as the hand, we need the foot. It doesn't mean either one of us is less important or more important. So this whole idea that we all have to fellowship together is bogus. Because we don't. Are you still part of the body?
Absolutely.
How many times do you run around with your hand holding your foot? Just walking around holding it. Actually, you can't walk. Sitting there holding your foot. letting your hand meet your foot.
If you do that, ain't no work getting done. I can guarantee you that.
Right.
I ain't gonna sit there and take a picture and post it up about it. I just throw that out there.
Right.
Holding my foot at my ankle.
So just understand, we are continuing to tell y'all, veer your attention off of man and veer that attention to the book. Veer that time away from, see, we're not even telling y'all to listen to us. We're telling you, veer that attention to the book. The Bible, the Apocrypha, Yahshua. And as Brother David Short says, just live it. Just live the book. Is that shit that hard?
No, sir.
Really, is it that hard? See, that's the problem, is that we're so prideful and we think we can live something outside of the book and make it Yah. And you can't do that.
You can live it outside of the book, but you just got to understand and know full well that the laws of sowing and reaping are forever. And as long as you continue to sow actions outside of, i.e., not in accordance to or with this book, then you will continue to reap consequences outside of or not in accordance with those who are living in accordance with the book. It's all rewards. God's going to reward us one way or the other.
Yes, sir.
It's all reward. You can get the rewards, or i.e., you can reap that of righteousness because you have sown a lifestyle of righteousness and obedience, or you can reap destruction.
Right.
You can reap the consequences of this disobedience, and the book is real. And we were talking about that earlier. The same thing applies. We were talking about it with deliverance, and those who are doing these signs and wonders supposedly, and the signs are real. The wonders can be real, but they can be done by those who belong to Yah or those who do not. And we've proven that with the book. And the same holds true here. The same Yah's principles work because they're his principles.
Yep.
The heathen can grab a hold of this stuff and apply these principles and reap the benefits of these principles.
Yep.
That doesn't make them Yah. It means that they applied Yah's principles.
That's true.
Like the Bible says in Proverbs, when you move to a land, build your house or plant your gardens first, then build your house. That's wisdom, irregardless of whether you're in the faith or not.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Because while you're building your house, if you already have your gardens in, they're going to be bearing fruit while you're building your house. A lot of the principles in this book are just wisdom. When it says Solomon was wise, when Yah gave him wisdom, it wasn't just wisdom that only Israel can benefit from. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise. Well, an ant is not an Israelite.
That's it, man. Ooh.
So anybody can go to the ant, consider her ways, and gain wisdom. That's why we have a lot of preppers and guys who are self-sufficient who care nothing about Yah whatsoever. They applied the wisdom of the book.
It's interesting.
I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
You go ahead. To me, it's kind of interesting that, you mentioned something about, this life, the way we live it, is going to have perpetual consequences or rewards. And I was thinking about, and that's never ending. That's forever.
Yes,
I
sir.
was thinking about, do I want, and this should be really a wake-up call for men. Do you want your seed? You want your seed to continue to live outside of Yah's principles?
Man.
You want them to miss the kingdom because you're not doing your job? I mean, that's a hard pill to swallow. Because you are so engrossed in your pastor's business. You want your children to continue, you want your sons to continue on in that. I mean, that's your name. Doesn't your name mean anything? That's your name. Who wants death and destruction who just wishes that upon their sons? Upon their daughters?
That's tough.
Good men don't do that.
Imagine you as a father being up under somebody like that, and you like, as a man, I'm gonna have my daughter marry this young man over here. And the elders are like, well, that's not wise. We want her to, we're preserving her for somebody over here. And I'm like, no. I'm gonna have her marry this man over here. Well, if you do that, you're going against the heads, and we're gonna kick you off the land.
Man.
But
I couldn't live like that.
I've done sown 5-10 years of my life, given all of my money because all things are in common, supposedly.
And it ain't. That's when you take this shirt off and just wear one that says servant. That's it.
That's it.
Master of servitude. Not popular. I don't know that it would sell well, but a lot of folks wear it.
I would buy that shirt for some people and send it to them. With the HOQ stamp on the shoulder.
Little hand pointing up at this person's face. After a servitude.
The sad fact is, in some places that would probably be a hit. They'd probably love it.
Oh yeah.
I think some of these people actually like the idea of being a servant. I really do. Because they're going to convolute it and make it in some way, well, I'm just serving the Father by serving him. Nah.
I believe that. I believe that because really, and I say that because I say this. They love it because it's easy. They love it because of the convenience factor. It's easier for you to just listen to a voice that you can hear audibly as you hear us and follow this person's instructions, do what he says, i.e. give up your autonomy to just do what this person says. That's easier than taking on the responsibility for yourself and your family.
It is.
And bearing the consequences of the decisions that you make for yourself and your family.
It is.
Now that takes some fortitude, testicular fortitude. And most don't have that. Most are not willing to, to walk through that. Because it's easier to just follow someone else.
It is.
Whether that's your pastor, your elder, or FEMA, your government, whoever,
Whoever.
That could be the difference of being warm and toasty or freezing to death.
Right.
I say that as a very sad example, but it's very true. And right now, hopefully something that we can all relate to, or, it's in the news right now. People dying of not having water, freezing to death. But it's not because the answers and the solutions were not there. It's just because who you're choosing to listen to, what it is that you're willing to do about it, or not.
Because had government told you to get ready for it, they would have lost the control. In fact, the more that these calamities happen, the more control the government's going to take over people, because people are going to look at it and say, I can't eat unless that food bank is open.
There it is.
I can't eat unless somebody takes food to the store for me. I'm not going to have water unless they unfreeze the pipes.
I can't heat my home unless they provide me this electricity. Therefore, I'm willing to pay $12,000 or 12 whatever a month, even though common sense would tell me that's ridiculous. But it allows me to sit here and be convenient and be lazy and do nothing. And so people accept it.
Man.
Just accept it. You look at how this whole thing is ran, it's stupid. The government or the banks will tell you, you can't afford a mortgage where you pay $800 a month for your mortgage. But then you're out there paying $1,200 a month for rent.
Right.
You see how dumb that sounds? You can't afford $800 a month, but you can afford $1,200 rent. Backwards.
Man.
Backwards. People don't want personal responsibility for their lives, so it's easier to have somebody else do it.
That's it.
People don't want to pay for the actions of their bad choices. So they pass that off and say, well, somebody else has to deal with that. I'll take the consequences of my own.
Yes, sir. Man.
I ain't got nothing else, brothers. I think we hit this.
Me either.
Yep.
I think it's a lot for some people to think about. Sir,
And I'll say this. I want to say this. People stop just coming here to, this is not entertainment. It should not be. The purpose of this, I'll put it this way. Our purpose for this is not for you to be entertained. This is not just, merely for your entertainment. I really do hope and pray and earnestly desire that you will go back. And if nothing else, I don't want a dime from you. I don't want your deed. I don't want your daughter, your wife, anything else that you have, to offer in that realm. I don't want it. What I would love to see you do is this. Open your book and read it and dare to believe it.
Man.
Dare to believe it more than you believe the voice in your own head. Dare to believe it more than you believe your own body, your own lowercase g God of convenience, your own laziness, your own whatever, all these other excuses that you have a plethora of that is preventing you from living this book, from just living it. Mortify that stuff and then just say, maybe for some of you, for the first time in your life, I repent for that. And moving forward, I'm going to do this. I'm going to live this book or die trying.
Man.
To me, that's it.
That's it.
I don't need anything from you, but you need something from you. You need something from you. And that's for you to decide that for you, maybe for the first time in your life, it really does boil down to this book plus nothing.
Man.
Plus nothing.
That's good stuff.
That was good.
Yes, sir. I don't have nothing to say behind that. That sums it up. Man.
I want to give a quick opportunity if anybody has any questions. Non-foolish questions. That was good, brother David. Because it's a challenge to really grasp the book, read it, and believe the words of Yah minus all the other noise.
Yes, sir.
And that includes my noise. If y'all are watching this, look back behind what we're saying. Do not ever sit back and say, well, look at those. They are just men of Yah, therefore I'm going to believe them. No. Go read it. If you heard something that we said, and we say it's in the Apocrypha, you can go to Google and type in what we said, and it should bring you up the scriptures.
That's it. I agree.
So don't just go and believe what we're saying. I encourage you to challenge it.
I don't remember the dude's name off the top of my head, but this whole program when I was growing up, Reading Rainbow, And the guy would say to the black dude, "That's it. Yep. Don't take my word for it. Read the book."
Read the book.
Yep.
I will say this for the record, just so people know, we're not saying that there weren't servants. We know Abraham had servants, but you just need to know the difference. But some people are walking around calling themselves masters when they're actually in a servant role.
That's it.
So we're not saying that, because some people, guess what? That might be their lot in life.
Right.
Yes, sir.
To be a servant. But you shouldn't be walking around. I don't walk around thinking I'm an airline pilot. I don't walk around thinking that crazy stuff so I can kill a bunch of people.
I think a part of truly walking the faith is truly knowing who you are.
Yes, sir.
And people run around saying, you have to know who you are. They took our identity from us. Well, some of y'all's identity is just servants. Stop walking around calling yourself a patriarch. I don't know. I don't see examples in the book of patriarchs living under other patriarchs. As if that's the common practice.
It's funny if they took so much away from us, why are we giving it to somebody else? Why are we giving away land? Why are we giving away dollars?
Man.
Supposedly they have taken stuff away from us. How come when we get it back, we just say, man, you can have it.
Man, brother HOQ.
My family ain't worth nothing. My sons ain't worth nothing. They don't need no land. I don't want to set them up according to the book so they have a great start where they can build their own family and continue to make this name great on the earth. Never mind. I prefer to be a servant.
That's deep.
And for them to become servants.
Yes, sir.
Man.
So,
Good stuff,
in a sense, y'all restored them just for them to go back under bondage.
Hey, brother, I already know we talk about this a lot, but I can tell you, you're right. You're hitting on something hard because when people use that term, if you notice that something was stolen from them, they stole it from us. The only thing that, and I'm gonna just say it like this: the only thing niggas want to restore is their damn name by calling themselves Yahshua, all of this other stuff, being Israel. That's all they want to restore. What about the land?
David ben Yahuwah ben Yahshua ben everything under the book was real.
Bend over.
Been everything. Been everything but a man of Yah.
Right.
Everything else been.
I heard you say bend over.
I mean, I don't think y'all can take me seriously. I was like, hey, shalom, brothers. Shalom, shalom. This is Brother Chris, Ben Yah, Ben Israel, bend over.
I'd be like, hey, where you from? Nigga, where you from? You'd be like, oh, I grew up in California.
Right. San Francisco.
Oh, man, I thought maybe you grew up in South Africa or something. I don't know.
But that's real talk, brothers. You know, we could have a stream on that. Maybe that's something we could talk about next Shabbat. Is men are about to have their whole house wiped off the face of the map. Everybody wants restoration, except we don't want the restoration of the responsibility that we were supposed to have over our lands, our families. Because it makes me think, brother, you said we got all these things restored and we turn around and hand our land over.
Man.
Our families over. Our money over. Y'all rescued us, and it's almost like we the children of Israel. We looking back saying, what about the leeks and the cucumbers and the melons that we had in Egypt?
No, yeah, I love captivity. Let me hand everything back over.
Man.
I just say I'll just stick with the book.
We'll just stick with the book. I'll let y'all close it out.
And I hope y'all are warm. I hope you have water. More importantly, I hope that you have a belief in this book. It ain't a fairy tale. It's not a history book. It's not for your amusement or entertainment. It is your manual of living. I hope that you would choose to believe it, fully apply it, die to it. Lay down your life to the author thereof.
Yes, sir.
Brother Andre, close it out.
Well, we love y'all, but we don't want to hold y'all up from enjoying the Sabbath with your families and everything. I guess we'll see y'all at the next time. Other than that, Shabbat Shalom. Y'all bless all the men in their houses on this stream. That's it. I love y'all brothers too, man. I'll be looking forward to talking to y'all on first date.
Yes, sir.
At our appointed time.
Yes, sir.
Blessing to y'all houses and lands, man. Blessing to y'all lands too, brothers. You heard me say y'all damn lands.
Y'all.
Not nobody else damn kids and families and daughters.
Hallelujah.
Y'all bless you with this stuff. Hold on to it.
Hallelujah.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom and Shabbat Shalom.
Oh yeah, and
Enjoy your
enjoy
family and your thing.
enjoy yourself, my brother, with them 20-some years of marriage experience over there.
Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Bless you. Uh-oh. Look at it.
Oh, yeah.
Hallelujah.
Man, yes,
If we see Brother David on the stream next Shabbat and he's really exhausted,
man, that brother put in work.
Uh-oh. Oh, he already got his calling. Yeah, some people are waiting in the mouth. I love y'all.
All right. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
I love y'all.